G'day guys, Fishin Straya here. Today we have a very well anticipated video. So pretty much about a year and a half ago I brought this tinny beside me and it was bare, nothing was done to it. And pretty much now I've turned it into full on fishing machine. So I'm going to go through a little run through of the tinny, everything about it. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna do. So first things first, my electric motor is going to probably have to change shortly. I'm pretty sure I've got an issue with the motherboard issue with the motherboard, because I can't get it to turn. So it is a Minn Kota Riptide 55. I brought it second hand, and I mean obviously it's not going to work now, but it just won't turn. It'll go forward, it'll like spin, but it won't actually turn. But yeah, so that's the electric. And then we've got a cable running here which goes to our sounder, which is a lounge hook reveal sounder, which is just gives you what is it? Dual shot, not like triple shot, so I don't get side scan, which is something I definitely do want to get in the future. But I'm gonna have to get into new electric first. And yeah, I just mount my transducer right there on the end of the electric. So obviously it doesn't work while I'm driving, but when I'm cruising flats and stuff like that, I can see where I am. And then, but I've got another sounder at the back which we'll get into later. That's just connected there with an Anderson plug, so nice and easy to remove when I'm away. And then up here is a little hatch, and underneath it is my battery there for the electric. So that is a pure energy 105 amp hour lithium ion battery. So that was about 800 bucks, but it is like the best battery I've ever had. It's so lightweight, weighs like 17 kilos off the top of my head, which, you know, sounds like a bit, but compared to the 105 amp hour battery I've got at the back, which is same 105 amp hour, that's like 34 kilos. So it's actually, you know, really lightweight for what it is. And yeah, so I've just got positive and negative up to there, which mount to the Anderson plug there that's just clipped in there. And then yeah, that's front. How I store my rods, a very unique way I guess I could say. I've sort of sit them on the side. I've always been a fan of having my rods sitting, not standing up. So when I'm going into rivers and stuff like that, I can have them up the side. So what I've done, so I've got like a little bit of elastic and just sort of made a little rod seat belt, just so I can put my rods in while traveling in car. And then obviously while traveling on the boat, like waves get rough and stuff like that, you know, it's nice to have your rods stuck down. And there's a heap of little holes up here which I just poke my rods through, so they all say separate. And so say I want this rod here, you know, pull it out, it's separate. I'd just pick it up and go casting and then put it back in. It's in its own area, works wicked. Next up, we've got a little compartment here. I'm not going to bother even opening it up because it's like, it's not bad, it's just it never gets open because it's got my anchor. I very rarely use an anchor. It's just like a legal like law, you need an anchor, so you got to have one. And then we get to the main compartment here, which if we lift her up, we've got a whole heap of stuff. This is where I store everything from fishing gear, life jackets, like just literally everything. You've got heaps of space. It all goes underneath there, and it's got like a bottom board, so nothing goes under and falls under, which is wicked. And yeah, so I can actually fit a fair bit in there by the time you take the fact that it goes all the way to here and all the way to here, and just covered it marine carpet. And I just use these cut off little tabs stapled staple gun them, and then they work. And then we come back further. This is pretty much the last feature of the front deck. We've got two little, I need to clean them up because I always get water into them, but two little compartments here and here. So they just store, you know, basic stuff, pliers, stuff like that. I do need to replace both of these as they've been in here for close to half a year, if not a year, and they've just got a lot of water in them over the time. So I do need to replace them. But yeah, it's pretty much, I built the whole decking out of form ply, and then just staple gun marine carpet onto it, and I got a bit of welding done. So there is an aluminium frame that sort of runs up the side, across and back down the middle, straight down, which keeps the deck, you know, like pretty solid. Like, I mean, I could jump on there if I wanted to, but I don't have the energy to do that. And then here we've got nice little base plate stand. Then we go to the back of the boat. Like, usually this space here is where I'll store, like, you can probably see I've got no space, like no specific spot that I store all my tackle. Like, usually I just have a big Stanley, like, plastic, like, toolbox, and put all my tackle boxes and gear in that, and that usually just sits there. Or when I'm going like saltwater fishing, Essie can sit there. Like, I don't really have a specific spot for my tackle, so this is just pretty well much usually where it sits. So here, just got a nice little cushion, keep myself nice and happy while jumping through waves. Basic, just convenient stuff, drink holder, little pocket there, pockets there, which conveniently holds a whole bag of party mix. I'm not saying I ate them all, I swear. But yeah, so just pretty much, you know, your basic convenient stuff. Fire extinguisher, I like it there because it's right next to me, so if something ever was to happen, it's right there. You can literally grab it. It's not like underneath the deck, it's literally right there. Grab it straight away, get the fire out. Right, now we go to my other sounder. So I said I was running two sounders. So this is a Garmin sounder, so yes, two separate ones. This is like Garmin's like lowest model sounder, but I went for this one because like the maps you get on it, like you can draw your own maps, which like for the lowest cheapest model Lawrence made, you couldn't draw your own maps. So it's good, like I get to, you know, draw maps of where I go, put waypoints and all that, and it's pretty good. Like when I'm full bore with the motor, which we'll get to in a bit, I can actually, you know, keep an eye on the depth, which is wicked, because I've flipped one boat motor into a boat before and I wouldn't really recommend doing it again. So this is the main thing that prevents me from doing that. Turn that back off. And what do we got? What else do we have? We've got, so I've put my fuel tank here and I've permanently screwed this down, but I want my fuel tank to be under there and I wanted to get to it. So I've just drilled a big hole, and then that's my fuel tank lid. So then I can get to that, I can refuel it, stays out of my way, and I can still get to it if I need to. So that's like a big help. Like I really like that, because it's like an underground fuel tank, even though it's not really. It's just sort of bored on top of a fuel tank, but it looks like an underground fuel tank, which is pretty cool. And here we've just got a little on-off switch for my bilge pump, which runs out there and just gets out all my water. I have huge issues. This is one of the main things I have issues with this boat, is switches. Like I get water in to the back of the boat, and I just keep on having, like I had a switch there and a USB port there. That's what these two holes here are for. But then both of them, I just got water into them so quick and it's just corroded all the terminals. So pretty much I just go through switches like nothing. So that's why this one's is pretty just botched up, just sort of on off, sort of tucked in behind there, but it does the job. And then underneath this little last compartment of the boat, we have our last battery. So like I said, this one is a pure energy. So both my batteries are pure energy. I got both of them through every battery. I don't know, they're just local and they worked, so that's where I got them from. And yeah, both of them are pure energy batteries. And this one's a 105 amp hour battery. It's an AGM style battery, so it's not a lithium one, so they're a lot heavier but cheaper. So it sort of depends, comes down to like whether you want to spend more and get a lighter style, a lighter battery, or do you want to, you know, just pay less, just get the heavy battery. But yeah, so that just sits all there. All my electricals just run down there and just as tidy as it can be, and that just closes up there. Right, now we'll jump out of the boat. And we'll get to the big motor. So she is a 4-stroke Mercury, 30 horsepower, and this thing has taken me literally everywhere. I've not had a single fault with this motor. I've just absolutely used it like well, like hammered, like not hammered it, but like I'm always using it, and I've just not had an issue. Like it always starts, you know, cold morning, you know, you just pump a bit of fuel and it starts second pull. And yes, it's wicked on fuel. Like you'll drive all day and you'll like try to pick up your fuel tank and it'll still be full. Like it's insane how good fuel on fuel it is. That's from CJ Marine. So pretty much I brought the boat from CJ Marine and the motor from CJ Marine, and I did all the not modifications, but I did up the boat. Yeah, but yeah, so that's her. She's well due for a service this winter, which I have to get in soon. I have to get my prop sorted because, yeah, look, she's had a hard life. But yeah, so this is a 2020 model. So it's pull start and gas assisted lift, so it's not like the top of the range, but I mean, I was gonna get one of the electric start ones, but I mean, in the end, I'm still sort of young, you know, it doesn't hurt for me to go like that, so I thought, screw it, I'll save myself like a couple $1,000 and just get a pull start one. So yeah, and lastly, on the back, it's a bit funny actually. So as I was coming back in today, my transducer actually flew off at me. So it's not really good, but I had my transducer mounted sort of there. I just need to put a couple of screws into that. But what I've actually done here is so that's just like a thick bit of like plastic cutting board, and I've just really siliconed that to the boat, and then I just put my screws into there. So I don't actually drill a hole into my boat, so it keeps holes out of the boat. So if I do, you know, decide I want to move transducer or go to a different brand and it's got a different size, different spacing in holes, I'm not going to have a hole in my boat. So yeah, that's why I did that. And lastly, we'll get onto the paint. So as you can see, she's had a fresh coat of paint on her. We've got like a couple wicked Tamar Marine decals, which they look sick on up the front there, and then obviously numbers. But yeah, so pretty much I painted in like, I can't recall this stuff off my head exactly, but I'll put it right here. I painted it with that stuff. It was about $108 for like a full-on like tub of it, and that like painted the whole thing twice, like the double coated. Like when you get real close, like there's some spots where, you know, it doesn't look too great, but like you're not really, you know, you're using it for a fishing boat, you're not really paying that much attention to detail. From afar it looks wicked, and that's all that really matters. But yeah, so things I want to, I'll also talk about things I want to improve on this boat. So one thing I want to do for sure is, so when I've got some time, I want to get like top coat, like something to protect it, and just give it another coat of paint, and just completely smother it in like a top coat. So then hopefully, you know, it will get like a bit more resistance too, because like there's just like where I keep the strap on, like it's literally nothing. It's just me complaining, but like, you know, like the little marks that show up. So I do want to get around to giving it another coat of paint, like top coat, to make it look the best it possibly can. And yeah, like I said at the very start, I am up for a new electric motor, so I'm gonna get a new electric motor. I'm gonna have to get one, because I can't steer, like, because I have to stand at the front of the boat and lift it, twist it, and then press it. It's so annoying. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get another electric. And like, lastly but not least, lastly, like the very last thing I'd do, like another thing that's like on my mind, but it's not something I need. Like realistically, if I'm gonna get another electric, I'm probably just gonna buy a new one with like spot lock. But like a power pole on the back of it would look pretty wicked. That's all I'm saying. So, but like I say, like I've had no issues. The only issue I've had with this boat would be the electric. But you buy a second-hand electric motor, you're gonna have issues. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like, there's nothing special about the trailer. I mentioned it's a trailer. But yeah, that's her. So yeah, a big turnaround from buying it with nothing on it to now looking like that in pretty well much just over a year. So yeah, something pretty wicked. But yeah, anyway, lastly, probably should mention the hull. So it's a Savage Gannet. So Gannet, something like that. 4.2 meter, so 14 foot. And yeah, I've taken it places I definitely shouldn't have. If you've watched any of my videos prior to this, caught a tuna out of this, so that's pretty wicked. Like taking up lakes, taking it up rivers and stuff like that. So it's a great versatile size, and it's just wicked. Like, I love it. I could take it anywhere I want, really. Yeah, anyway, that's all. I'm gonna cook up some food and then probably drive on home. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know if you like the Tinny build. Yeah, anyway, that's all. I'll see you guys in the next one.